Jeff, you go for it, Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yesterday, I learned about laddering, okay, and making a good offer, okay, and also learned about HBA, how to set things up, okay. Hooks are the most important things, okay, in solving the problems of people, okay. How do you make them feel comfortable and easy about their problem? And today, I'm hoping to get up a little bit more. I want some more. Need some more.
Need some more? What was the one thing you would like to get started today?
You helped me start my community, so I'd like to just get it started and get more members.
Okay. So one of the things we're gonna do, incorporating into the audit, is maybe have Jen recap what communities you should learn how to promote your community. Because nobody's gonna come into your community until you put the word out. Nobody. Because you're gonna be called what's called a secret agent. Does that make sense?
What'd you call it?
You
Secret.
become a secret agent. Nobody knows about you. Either you part of the CIA, FBI, right? They say, what's FBI? Female body inspection.
Yeah.
And then CIA, they got an acronym for everything. So I'm going to tell you this. You need to speak. If you don't speak, nobody will know. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That's the whole purpose of why you do 3 contents a day, so that you have exposure, so that you speak, right? So that's very important. Okay. But I think on the latter thing, Jen, they must have communicated to all each other. You know what I'm saying?
That's good though. That's one of the most important pieces. And then this is probably a totally separate call, but think your lead magnets where one leads to either community or one leads to your offer. I'm still working because I have 20 something lead magnets. So I'm still refining. So don't think you got to go do all this in 1 week, just one thing at a time. You just want to have your next steps, your ladder, whatever you guys want to call it.
So I'm gonna talk to Jen after this. We're gonna do a recap of this workshop, and I'm gonna brainstorm with her. And I have plans to design 2 more workshop with Jen. Okay, this year, but we're gonna be specifically focusing on what people need. Does that make sense? So one that I decide I want to do is going to be more on content creation, right? Like the editing part, the thought process of the content, getting that content together before you actually get ready for printing and ready for record. And then once you get it record, what the heck do you do with it? Right? So that's going to be one workshop. It's going to be a 3-day, possibly even 5-day workshop, depending on how technical we get, right? Because sometimes you got to take it easy when you share that kind of stuff. Look, I love Mike to death, but in some cases he go too fast for people. And I know that sometimes he realizes you watch the video and watch the recording and stop and play, right?
That's
But
what I had to do.
but for me it's a little different. Okay. I have a real interest in the person I teach. And the last thing I want is a person that's still in la la land by the time the workshop is done. I have a problem with that, like a huge problem with that, because you're a paying customer. Does that make sense? It doesn't matter whether you pay $47, 67, 97, or 27. It doesn't matter how much you pay. Bottom line is you're a paying customer. Does that make sense? And the way it works, you pay for a service, you need to be render service. Plain and simple. Does that make sense? The
Yep.
second workshop is going to be specifically both community owners and non-community owners at the same time. Okay. But it's going to be on the structure of how to post value in places like school posts, and how to structure your school community. Both. Step by step. Okay? We're going to do those 2 workshops. Is there videos out there that will explain to you the basics? The answer is yes. Is it in English? I can't guarantee you. Because for some of you, it might be in a different language. Our goal is not to go basic, but to go fulfill what is missing. Does that make sense?
Yep.
How many of y'all here, whether you have a community or not a community, realize there's a lot to learn about school? If you didn't raise your hand, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah, I still need to learn Zapier.
So I will be discussing this with Jen, right? What you saw the first 2 days and today is really a small taste of what you're going to get the next 2 workshops. I'm just throwing that out there for you guys. Okay. One thing I realized is that Jennifer here and I, we collaborate well together.
I think so. I have a really good idea. I'm not going to mention it now in case you aren't into it, but one that I've been wanting to do, and I think it would be more powerful with 2 people.
But the thing is this, guys, when you have 2 people that discover they can work together, how many of you have never heard this before? It's always better to have 2 heads than 1 on the shoulder.
Yep.
This is the proof of it. Why do you think Michelle leveraged Mike in some workshops? Because 2 heads is better than 1. Does that make sense? Right?
They really are a good balance together.
All right. So, Cynthia, you got your mic unmuted. Go ahead. And then we're going to go to Madeline in South Africa. We're going to start conquering the other part of the world.